Hi there, welcome to my channel.
One of the most horrific events in New Mexico history, the Las Cruces bowling alley massacre.
Police suspect they were shot during an armed robbery.
The shooting happened in February of 1990 when two men entered the Las Cruces Bowl and shot 7 people, some of them in the head, while stealing about $5,000 from the bowling alley's office and then setting that office on fire. 4 people were killed almost immediately, including the bowling alley's mechanic, Air Force officer Stephen Turan, and his daughters, 6-year-old Paula and 2-year-old Valerie.
We heard the sirens all morning long. Sirens, and well, of course there wasn't no, cell phones then, so I kept calling the bowling alley and I was getting very nervous because they would not answer.
Audrey Martinez Turan was at work when she heard about the shooting that killed her husband and 2 daughters.
I actually drove into the parking lot and they stopped me. And once I told them who I was, they sat me back in the seat, put the seat belt on me and told me that I knew on the drive that Stephen couldn't have made it because I knew that he would be a fighter, that he would fight back.
Turan was taking his daughters to the bowling alley's daycare center where they were going to be watched by 12-year-old Melissa Repass and 13-year-old Amy Hauser. Hauser was also shot and killed. Repass was also shot but managed to call 911. Pass survived the deadly shooting with her mother, Stephanie Sanick, and the bowling alley's cook, Ida Holguin. At the ongoing investigation, Martinez Turan tells us she's losing hope.
Yeah, I know that 30 years, it makes it a cold case, but it's not cold. It's not cold to my family.
They put you in the office?
Yes, I need a fireman too. Please help me. Like forever, really, but it was, I think, just like 12 minutes, I don't know, because they got anxious or I don't know what happened, but they started shooting us on the head and I thought my head exploded.
Ida Holguin is one of only 3 survivors.
Oh God, it was awful. I was so scared.
She wasn't supposed to be there, but a new schedule at work changed her life forever.
I remember it every day. I live with it every day because I was there. I was in the office. I also got shot on the head, the shoulder, and the arm.
It was February 10th, 1990, around 8 o'clock in the morning, when police officers were dispatched to what was then known as Las Cruces Bowl.
They told us all to get down. They shot me 5 times.
Okay, we'll get them rolling, Melissa. Just hang on, take a deep breath. Let patrol units in route. How many people are hurt?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 people are hurt?
Yes, I see.
When officers arrived at the bowling alley, they found 3 people already dead. 13-year-old Amy Hauser was scheduled to work at the facility's daycare. Her co-worker, 26-year-old Stephen Teran, who just arrived at the bowling alley with his 2 daughters. 6-year-old Paula Holguin and 2-year-old Valerie Teran, who later died at a local hospital.
We didn't just lose a person, we lost the whole branch of our family tree.
Anthony Teran was at school when he learned about his brother's murder.
My parents were devastated. My brother had just graduated. He had put in his 2-week notice at the bowling alley. He had a great career in the Army. He was looking forward to working with the police or the Border Patrol. My nieces were starting to go to school, starting to learn how to live life. I mean, it took away everything.
Investigators say the 2 suspects forced each of the 7 victims inside an office where they were all shot execution style. The men then intentionally set fire to the room and fled with an estimated $5,000.
We still need closure. These people are still out there. I mean, this is how they lived and walk among us.
It's still there. I mean, I think of it from when I wake up to when I go to sleep.
Her nightmare began February 10th, 1990. That morning, she headed to her job as a cook at Las Cruces Bowl in Las Cruces, New Mexico. 12-year-old Melissa, whose grandfather owned the bowling alley, spent her days running around the lanes with a friend. Her mother ran the popular business.
I never hungry. please make us some enchiladas. I love your green enchiladas.
Well, sweetie, I'm really busy right now. I mean, look at, we've set up for all those people that are coming for the tournament. Do you know what? I'll make something for you later, okay? I promise.
Let's get candy then. Gummy bears.
That morning, Melissa's and Ida's world would change forever.
2 men came in and took my carefree childhood away from me.
I felt something on the side and I looked down, it was a gun. And he told me, come with me. This is the holdup.
They pulled their guns out and they told me to go back to where I came from. And I did.
Mama, hold on a minute.
And that was in the office where my mom was doing the daily deposit.
Is that it?
And they told us all to get on the floor, put our heads down.
The robbers had what they came for, all of the bowling alley's money. That's what makes what happened next so unexplainable.
We had our heads down. And I remember picking it up twice because I heard noise. When they shot me in the head, I thought my head exploded. It was so loud. I really thought my head exploded.
And I don't know why, but I put my hands on my head. And I think that's what saved my life. The bullets just skimmed my head. They didn't penetrate.
There would be even more unexplainable violence to come. At 8 a.m. that morning, the alley's mechanic, Steve Turan, showed up for work.
Where's Stephanie?
He had his 2 young daughters with him, 6-year-old Paula and 2-year-old Valerie.
Ida.
He had no idea what they were walking into.
God. No! No!
I didn't know who was alive or not. All I knew was I was bleeding and I needed help.
As the robbers fled with their take of $5,000, Melissa painfully hoisted herself up to a desk and called 911.
Please come to Las Cruces Bowl.
Help, please. How many people are hurt? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people are hurt? Yes, I think. The bullets in my head. It hurt.
Melissa's phone call saved her own life, her mother's, and Ida's. But nothing could be done to save Steve and his daughters, and Melissa's 13-year-old friend, Amy Hauser.
Hundreds of leads Myers and the detectives before him have followed have panned out, but he remains hopeful that someone will see this story or an FBI wanted poster and call in the tip that cracks the case. Ida Holguin hopes it's sooner rather than later.
That would be a good Christmas that we would never forget. And I wish they would tell us something before Christmas.
He says this documentary doesn't hold back. It includes crime scene video and the terrifying 911 call by a 12-year-old girl. The purpose is to find the killers. There it is on the big screen. The call to 911 by a terrified 12-year-old Melissa Repass still brings chills. More than 20 years after 2 killers stormed into Las Cruces Bowl and shot 7 people as they were getting ready for a birthday party. 4 people died. 26-year-old Steven Turan, his daughters 6-year-old Paula and 2-year-old Valerie, and 13-year-old Amy Hauser. Repass, her mother Stephanie Senac, and Ida Holguin survived. The savage murders have stuck with filmmaker Charlie Min for years.
I found out about the brutal crime back in 1990 when I was watching Unsolved Mysteries. I was a college student in Boston, and I was extremely angered and saddened by the degree of unfairness and the barbaric nature of how children were executed.
Min's hope with his new film, A Nightmare in Las Cruces, is for fresh leads to come in, possibly one that will break the case.
Perhaps after 20 years, people have had a change of loyalty and a change of heart, and will step up to the plate and say, you know something, this was so wrong. This needs to be solved.
Sketches of the 2 killers have circulated for years, but to no avail. Min includes crime scene video in his film. He says it's important that people know how gruesome the murders were.
What this film does is it gives the crime a heartbeat. It keeps it alive and fresh, so new leads can come in.
Min invites questions from the audience during screenings to spread the word about his cause.
I'm really glad to bring it back to New Mexico's largest city to see if somebody may know something.
Bowling alley. 2 gunmen shot 7 people in the head. They called it the Las Cruces Bowling Alley Massacre.
And what you fear the most. Are these kind of brutal murderers wandering the streets and we just didn't know it? Is real.
We had the pressure of trying to get answers to what had happened.
The different variations of the stories made it really difficult to pinpoint on one specific area.
These people had actually been executed.
Somehow cocaine and cocaine funding was involved in it.
That's totally made up by the press.
Based on actual unsolved events.
We're pleading for assistance from the public. Someone out there has the key to help us solve this thing.
There's someone else besides these 2 people that know what happened.
I hope he sees her eyes every day. I hope that that's what he remembers when he wakes up in the morning.
A nightmare in Las Cruces.
Nobody should lose their family this way.
Of honor and remembrance for those who lost their lives here at the 10-pin bowling alley, bringing out the community of Las Cruces, making sure the story isn't forgotten.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
That was the worst day of my life, and all of our lives, I'm sure.
You begin to die once you start to forget the things that matter.
Quoting Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Anthony Teran and his family remember his brother and 2 nieces who were killed 30 years ago in the Las Cruces bowling massacre, explaining that after 3 decades, the family is still looking for justice.
We're still angry. The family's still angry that there hasn't been justice. There was 7 people that were rounded up, brutally shot, 4 were executed, and 3 of them were kids. I mean, how much worse can it get than that?
Owner Ron Cenac, now 75 and living in Mississippi, says he was golfing in Arizona that deadly February morning.
I would go to the police station every morning and ask them, what's the latest? What's the deal? Every morning I stopped there. Every day.
But speculation swirled against him.
People are going to believe what they want to believe. And there's nothing I can say that's going to change their mind.
Someone wanted to send a message to them. I still say it was drug related.
I want to talk about the theories in the case. We all know that one theory is that it's a robbery that went wrong, and we already know that that's the official theory. Law enforcement has classified the massacre as a robbery homicide. The gunman stole several $1,000s from the bowling alley safe and fled the scene. However, critics of this theory point out that not all of the cash was taken from the bowling alley, and the extreme violence used against the victims, including children, goes way beyond what's typical in a robbery that spirals out of control. So that makes people think that it's definitely more going on with the case than just a robbery. Another theory is that it was a targeted crime involving the bowling alley owner. So the attackers appeared familiar with the building. They moved directly to the office, searched through papers, and attempted to destroy documents by setting them on fire. And see, that's why this theory seems credible. Because why would a robber go through documents and try to set some on fire? They wouldn't care about any of those documents. They're in there for the money. So that's extremely suspicious. So these actions have led some to believe that they were looking to robber, well, I don't even want to call them robbers, the assailants were looking for specific records, information, or evidence than just simply money. Another theory is that this is a owner and family related issue. Some community speculation has suggested possible illicit business ties, financial disputes, or drug-related issues connected to individuals associated with the bowling alley, including family members who worked there or were otherwise linked to the business. In this view, the massacre may have been retaliation, enforcement, or an intimidation tactic aimed indirectly at the owner or his family rather than the victims themselves. Another theory is that it was a message or intimidation. The execution-style killings and the inclusion of children have led some theorists to believe the crime was meant to send a message. Supporters of this theory argue that the brutality was symbolic, intended to instill fear or demonstrate power. The brutality was symbolic. It was tended to instill fear and to demonstrate power versus just a robbery. This theory overlaps with other theories involving disputes, debts, or criminal associations tied to the bowling alley, especially the owner. Another theory was that it was organized or professional crime theory. Some observers believe that the attackers displayed a level of calm and control consistent with experience or professional criminals, so basically hired hands. The use of a small caliber weapon, the methodical execution of victims, and the attempt to destroy evidence have fueled speculation about organized crime involvement. Las Cruces, the U.S.-Mexico border, and it's also led to theories that the perpetrators may have fled the country, which in this case would make a lot of sense that they would flee the country. So the investigators on the case have stated that all plausible angles, including those involving the bowling alley owner and his family, were examined early in the investigation. No evidence was found to substantiate claims of owner involvement, family connections, or organized crime ties. As a result, all alternative theories remain speculative, and the case continues to be classified as unsolved. And it makes you think with the one theory that more than likely the people, the assailants, did leave the country, and that would make sense on why no one's said anything, because it's evident that there was more than one assailant. And so through the years, you think somebody would have said something, or people get sick and maybe they want to clear their conscience, or they're on a deathbed, whatever. And it's just been quiet. So it makes you think that maybe the perpetrators did leave the country and they never came back. That would make a lot of sense on why no one's heard anything. Technology is constantly evolving, and the families definitely deserve to know what happened. And thank you so much for watching.